Superstore. Today we celebrate what it means to bear down, Tucson. This is the undisputed home of the Wildcats. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Greetings and salutations on this Wildcat Wednesday. Thanks for joining us, everybody. My name is Rich Herrera. You know that. You love this radio show. You listen every day. At least I hope you do. But on Wednesdays, we turn it up just a little bit more as we talk about Arizona, what it means to be an Arizona Wildcat, why this is such a special place. We talk a lot of football. We're going to talk some volleyball today. Dave Rubio, the head coach for the Arizona Wildcats, is going to stop by the program. We haven't talked to Dave in a while, so he's coming on the show. And if you're watching on the stream and you wonder why I keep waving at the camera, we have a robotic camera now, and if I have to reset it by holding my hand up. And I think if I make an L or something, it's supposed to zoom in or zoom out or something. I don't know. There it goes. It zooms in. That's too big. My face looks too fat. Let's zoom back out. Zoom out. That's too much. That's too close to me. Zoom out. Stop it. Zoom out. Get back.
I think it's just if you just hold up the L.
Is that it?
Just the finger and the thumb. If you just do that, it should zoom out.
No, it's not zooming back out. It makes my head look too big. Great. I don't want to be that big. Now I'm all messed up, Dragon Ball.
Oh, boy.
This stream is going to be awful. Now it's even closer. It's like you can see every pore in my face now.
Oh, boy.
Okay, we're in trouble. All right, stop looking at it. I'm just going to put my hand up here.
Yeah.
Do I have something to cover myself up? Thanks for joining us, everybody. It's a Rich Herrera radio show that I was joined, as always, by my sidekick, my companion, my partner in crime, the one, the only Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball, a good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you, Rich.
Will you make this camera get back?
I wish I could. There's not a remote control that I have on the other side here.
Stop it!
Now it's not even following you, though.
I messed it up. I think I broke the camera.
Oh, boy.
I think I broke it. All right, get back. Get back. Stop it. You're annoying me. Get back. It won't move back.
It will not. I don't know. Maybe it's maybe it's because of your shirt being so bright. It doesn't notice your hand or anything like that.
Is that what it is?
Maybe.
I'm in trouble for this.
A part of it.
I'm in trouble. For those of you that are watching, I apologize. I don't know what to do. Anyway, how about if I just pay attention to the radio show, because that's what we're here for, right?
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, thanks for joining us, everybody. It is a Wildcat Wednesday brought to you by PGA Tour Superstore. By the way, they also bring you our Saturday golf show, the Tucson Golf Show, heard at 8 a.m. every Saturday. We got a really good one coming up, so if you're a golf fan, you're going to learn a little bit about the mental side of the game and putting and a whole bunch coming up Saturday morning, 8 a.m. It's all brought to you by PGA Tour Superstore. All right, let's just get into it, Dragon Ball. What do you say?
Sounds good to me.
No. Before we do that, what do I have to do? What do we do to begin the show every day? You're here every day, aren't you?
Yeah, well, we go into the list, obviously.
No, but then we have a text question, right?
That's right. We do have our text line.
I will text you.
You will text me because, I got another memo. This time from higher up the food chain,
right,
asking how much money did I spend on this text line.
And it was quite a bit.
And I said, yeah, we spent money on it, but I didn't sign off on it. And they said, well, who signed off on the text line? And I said, Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
And they're looking for Dragon Ball in the corporate records. So you're lucky that you have an AKA, an alias, that they're looking for that's not part of your personnel files, so none of them know, because they all live back east. They're all corporate suits.
I'm waiting for the guys in black suits with shades on to start looking at me outside my house.
No, it's not the government. I didn't tell anybody you look at things on the dark web this week.
Yeah. This week. I could be doing it other weeks, but not
this week. I haven't told anybody about you looking at Japanese anime on the dark web.
No.
Just Japanese anime from Korea that you get on a streaming service.
Yes.
$4.95 a month?
About $10.
$10?
Yeah.
Is it worth it?
Oh, for me it is, yeah.
Because I'm trying to decide, do I want NFL Plus? $4.95 a month.
There's a lot of folks trying to make that decision this
I think
year.
I'm going to get it.
I think at that price, you almost kind of have to, especially if you want to watch one team in particular.
Right.
Like
I
if
think
you
I
have
have to
your
get it.
team that's out of state.
Yeah, but I do like going to sports bars and watching games with other people.
You do, but then that costs money, and you can.
Well, I'm a baller.
Now you don't need to go out to go ahead and get your wings anymore because wings are so cheap
Yeah, but
now.
I'm
You can buy them yourself.
But I'm a baller. You know me. I like to go when I have an entourage of people that roll with me because I got a blue check mark. So I like being a baller that walks in and goes, "Oh my gosh, look! See that guy over there? See that fat guy over there? That's Horatio Sands." All right, here's our text question of the day. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. One more time, 520-848-1290. Text the word rich to 520-848-1290. Here is my text question of the day. What is the one game that the Arizona Wildcats have to win? One game Arizona has to win. What is it? Number for you to text into us is 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. The schedule for the Arizona Wildcats. Week 1, San Diego State. Week 2, Mississippi State. Week 3 is North Dakota State. So then when they get done playing all the state schools, they'll take on Cal, Colorado, Oregon, Washington, the University of Southern California Traders. They'll take on Utah. Then they'll take on the UCLA Backstabbers and Washington State, and then Arizona State. If they're only going to win one game, there's one game that they have to win no matter what. If they don't win this one game, the whole darn thing's a failure. What's the one game the Cats have to win this season? You tell me. Text the word rich and tell me the game. And by the way, put your name in it so I can tell who's sending me a text message. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. What's the one game the Cats have to win this season? That's our text question today. Now we can get to my favorite part of the program, which is what's going on in my twisted head.
Warning. The following segment might trigger some listeners, and 1290 does not take responsibility for the following content.
What the hell is going on?
It's time for the list as we explore the sick, twisted mind of our host, Rich Herrera.
And that's when things got bad.
And the list of things he is thinking about in that huge size 8 Chrome Magnum head of his.
Look at the size of that boy's head. That's like an orange on a toothpick.
You're gonna give the boy a complex.
Well, that's a huge noggin. Has its own weather system.
It does. It is a huge noggin with its own weather system. But let's get to it and tell you what's rattling around in my big old head. Do you notice how much nicer I'm dressed today? I got French cuffs on.
Yeah, you got the
I
whole
don't
dress shirt.
smell. I got a dress shirt on. My hair's nice.
You're looking good.
Camp's over, so I haven't been out there in the sun all day.
That easy, huh?
Yeah. Although, did you know that there was an University of Arizona surplus store? I saw this on Facebook. They were selling like all the surplus gear from Arizona football, like old cleats and I don't know, whatever else is out there, chin straps. I wanted to go out there so bad, but by the time I saw it, everything was gone because I would have loved to come home with like 10 pairs of size 18 cleats. And my wife would say, "What are those?" I'm like, "They were $5. I needed them. They're Arizona cleats." Yeah, I know. What? Seriously, what do you need this chin strap for? I don't know, but it was $2. I needed one.
There you go.
So, I know. All right. I will give you a sneak peek of what today's Mount Rushmore is. Because, again, the corporate suit said, Rich, millennials like lists. You don't like millennials nor Gen Xers because you're an old grumpy man.
Or iGens.
Or iGen. What are iGens?
Well, iGens is the one after the millennial.
Okay, so it's millennials. You're a millennial.
Yes.
And then my son is iGen.
That'd be the generation after there. Yeah.
The one that all of them have a stupid Miles Teller mustache.
I don't know about
Like
that.
my son.
Most of them end up having
Like he's coming home with that mustache. I don't know if I'm gonna let the mustache come in the house.
Hey, if he thinks it looks good on him, all the more power to him.
What do you know as a young man of what looks good and what doesn't?
I mean, what you feel looks good on you. If you
Okay.
if you look good, you feel good, and when
No.
you feel good, you play good.
No. do you look at pictures of yourself in high school and go, what in the world was I thinking?
Not often.
But sometimes.
Every so often, maybe.
Do you look at pictures of yourself in college and go like, what?
Nah.
So you were rocking it back then?
I was trying out some looks that I still think that probably today I could have done if I had some changes made. If I
so
still
they
had
weren't
some
a good
hair.
look.
No, they were a good look. It's just I
Nobody
don't have the hair
looks
to do it
back
anymore.
at pictures of themselves in their teens and 20s and says, man, I was rocking a great look. When you look at, and it's funny how everything comes reciprocal. Hawaiian shirts are coming back in style right now. Short shorts, halfway up your thigh for men. I walk around near campus and all the guys are wearing shorts that are halfway up their thigh. I'm like, too much skin. Shorts should be down to your knee.
Just a little bit above the knee.
How about just cover the whole knee and you go cholo look?
Nah, I don't think you can go full.
I have Dickies like that go below the knee.
Yeah.
Oh, they're so hoodlum. My wife doesn't let me wear them out in public. Anyway, little preview of our Mount Rushmore. I'm going to give you 4 games the Cats have to win. This dovetails to my what's the one game Arizona has to win. I'll give you 4 they need to win. But if they're going to get to 500, I'll give you the 4 that they have to win. And then they're going to need to pick up 2 more by upset, by hook or by crook, by outworking somebody throwing a last-minute interception, somebody making a mistake. But we'll talk about the path to 500 for the Arizona Wildcats this year. I do have a question for everybody in Tucson, though. Are we going to go full-on Southeastern Conference? Are we going to go full SEC as Pac-12 fans this year? Meaning, are we finally going to embrace the Pac now that we're under attack? You know, for the SEC folks, they root for other SEC schools. Alabama, Auburn hate each other, but if Alabama's playing Texas like they are in week 2, folks in Auburn will not wish Alabama ill. Kelvin Efon's a perfect example. You know what he roots for, don't you, Dragon Ball?
What's that?
He roots for Arizona State to go undefeated during the regular season, going into the Territorial Cup, because if Arizona's going to knock them off, he don't want to knock off an Arizona State team that's reeling. He wants to go steal their soul and break their heart and beat them when they're undefeated and throw that one loss on their record. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going all SEC. I'm not going to grow a mullet. I'll tell you that. But I am going to steal some SEC mentality, and I think you should as well. I'm going to root for all the Pac-12 teams when they're not playing the University of Arizona.
Well, we're going to have the opportunity to really do that. It's going to be Pac-12 versus the SEC in a couple of opening games this season, because not only does U of A play an SEC team in Mississippi State, but Utah's going to be opening up the season out in Gainesville, if I'm not mistaken, against Florida.
You know what? I'll tell you this right now. Arizona State is going to take on Oklahoma State. I'm a man.
I'm 40.
I'm 40. I'm a man. They're going to take on Mississippi State, and I think I'm going to root for them against Mississippi State. Or, excuse me, against Oklahoma State. Is that weird?
It's to show the strength of the conference. I don't think that's necessarily that weird, but once it gets into Pac-12 play, that's when you don't really want to see ASU succeeding too much.
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
I'm going to root for all the teams. So here's the deal. Colorado, I'm going to root for them on September 2nd against TCU. I don't know if I'll root for them against Air Force. I'm a Service Academy dad, so I always root for the Service Academies. I'll root for Colorado big time against Minnesota on September 17th. Oregon, I think I have an Oregon Duck shirt. I might wear it on September 3rd. Is Georgia and Oregon get together? I'm going to be all over the Ducks. I'm a big Dan Lanning guy. Great article. John Canzano wrote one today. If you subscribe to his website, he had an excellent article on Dan Lanning and what he's all about, the head coach at Oregon. Anyway, Oregon will take on Eastern Washington, BYU on the 17th. Utah takes on Florida. We got to root for the defending Pac-12 champions against the Gators down in the swamp. They'll take on San Diego State on September 17th. San Diego State was running their mouth last year because they beat so many Pac-12 schools.
Yep.
So we got to root for them right there. Arizona takes on San Diego State, Mississippi State, North Dakota State. Stanford has Colgate, Notre Dame, and BYU. I'll have to root for Stanford over Notre Dame for sure. Arizona State has NAU, Oklahoma State on September 10th. I'm going to root for the Sun Devils against Oklahoma State. And if people in town don't like it, tough. USC has Rice, Fresno State, Notre Dame. I will root for Rice, Fresno State, and Notre Dame.
Ooh.
Right. What are we going to do with USC, UCLA? Do I root for them? And my mom was a huge USC fan. My brother's a huge UCLA fan. I graduated, walked across stage at USC.
Yes, you did.
But they've thrown all their tradition out the window, so they don't deserve anybody's support. Washington State takes on Idaho, Wisconsin, Colorado State. That'd be a big game for Washington State against Wisconsin on September 10th. Cal takes on Davis, UNLV, Notre Dame. Washington has Kent State, Portland State, and Michigan State. We got to get behind the Dogs when they take on Michigan State. Oregon State, Boise State, Fresno State, Montana. Come on, dude. Get somebody better non-conference. You got to beat Boise State. And then, oh, man. You want to talk about the toughest schedule in the pack? Chip Kelly and the UCLA Bruins went for it this year.
Ooh.
They went for it. Are you ready for the schedule they have?
What do they got?
They're rolling out September 3rd. The UCLA Bruins host Bowling Green. Then, their brutal schedule continues next weekend as the UCLA Bruins welcome in Alabama State. On September 10th. And then the 17th, the piece de resistance, the UCLA Bruins hosting South Alabama. UCLA versus South Alabama. UCLA, the Bruins taking on South Alabama.
I'm surprised how many teams they got to go ahead and make that agreement for a Southeast visit.
September 17th. I guess North Alabama wasn't available. East Alabama, they couldn't get West Alabama. Alabama. Well, they got Alabama State. Central Alabama.
I mean, they went all.
They looked in
all cardinal directions there at Alabama.
Anyway, yeah, I think we have to go. I think we have to go SEC mentality for college football this year. What else am I going to tell you? Oh, scary story. Did you see this, Florida man?
Oh, no, now what? Now the Florida man stories. Oh.
My former Taco Bell. Do you have like a personal Taco Bell that you go to? The one that's near your house?
No, I don't have the let's not go to that Denny's. Let's go to the good ones for any restaurants. I go wherever I go. I have no allegiance. I have no location allegiance.
I have allegiance. So there was a Taco Bell that was actually 4 minutes from my house, and I knew if I had to be at work in 15 minutes, I could get there to the Taco Bell, the drive-thru, and to my office in 15 minutes.
Right.
20 minutes at tops. If I had a half hour, I knew I'd get through the Taco Bell drive-thru and into my office to get ready for work. So this is a Taco Bell in St. Petersburg, Florida. It was my personal Taco Bell. Like, when I pulled up, they knew my order. They knew my name.
Oh, wow.
I saw this last night.
That may be you've been there too many a time.
Oh, yeah. Like the girl at the McDonald's over here that I get an Egg McMuffin from every morning, she knows me. Hey, buddy. The girl at Whataburger where I get a breakfast taquito half the time, she goes, why are you always on the phone? You work too much. I go, you're right. You should tell my wife to tell me to take more vacations.
Well,
she's very sweet.
You have the vacation days. You just refuse to use them. How many times have you said that you've had the vacation rollover on you now?
I get 4 weeks a year. This is beginning of football. I've used 2.
You had your chances, sir.
I know.
You had your shot. You had your shot, sir.
So I basically have worked for a month for free. I'm so dumb. Anyway, my personal Taco Bell was violated yesterday.
What?
I got the story. I printed it because I didn't know if you'd believe me or not.
I probably still won't, even if it has been printed, because half the things that come out of Florida are...
Okay, here's the headline. Pinellas County, that's the county I lived in. Naked St. Pete man crawls through Taco Bell drive-through window. St. Petersburg, Florida, WFLA, Dateline. A St. Petersburg man was arrested after exposing himself. Wait, where's the rest of this? Did I mess this up? Did I not print the whole thing?
Oh, boy.
Or maybe our printer doesn't let me print this because it's so vile.
Yeah.
Where is it? Where is it? Breaking news. Did somebody take the payoff to my... Where is it? Hold on. Wait a minute. I got the story. No, I didn't print the story. Did I mess the story up? Anyway, a naked man climbed through the drive-in window at the Taco Bell on 4th Street in St. Petersburg and then proceeded to lay there on the ground naked until police came and got him.
Well, so he crawled through the drive-through window?
So the drive-through window, he crawled through it naked and then proceeded to lay down on the floor next to the soda machine.
You know what? That guy probably just had a really bad day and he needed to vent.
I've had bad days before. I've never had a bad enough day that I thought I'm gonna crawl through the window of a fast food restaurant with no clothes on.
Hey man, sometimes bad days happen. Bad days happen.
I don't know if I could ever. Now, how am I going to go through that Taco Bell drive-thru again?
I don't think you can.
No, I don't think I can. I think I would not be able to go back to that restaurant. I certainly don't want to go through the drive-thru and have them handing me my tacos and burritos through the same opening that he crawled in did his thing.
No, absolutely you don't want to do that.
All right, last thing that's rattling around in my head. I hate the Little League World Series on TV.
Oh, yeah?
I hate the Little League World Series on TV.
What's wrong with the Little League World Series?
I'll tell you. You know what? I got to tell you that next because I know we're over time because I'm rambling too much, which I want to do, but it's my radio show, so I can do whatever I want.
Right.
The Little League World Series on TV is the worst thing that can happen to American youth. I'll tell you why coming up next. I'm Rich Ferreira. That's Dragon Ball. Dave Rubio joins us top of the hour. By the way, we had a great conversation with Dave Hickey. If you missed it, I got pieces of it coming up here on 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, hand it to Matherin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Creasa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff. It is good. Backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, Goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins. Throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three. Blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it. It's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way. Out to Tabellas. Down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The Locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments from the University of Arizona Wildcats?
4th down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on 4th down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Arizona. Oh, did they need that? My goodness. Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the field. ASU with the ball. Down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and fouled by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his 3rd foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like what, driving down that was from midcourt. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Matherin with the ball for the Wildcats. Matherin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko. Feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline. Circles back out top to Matherin. 10 to shoot. 16 left in the ballgame. Matherin, 3 balls straight away. Good!
That's
We're tied.
Huge shot for Ben Matherin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Matherin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berrio. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball. He underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it and made a great play on the ball. An amazing play by Jordan McLeod.
Brown will take the snap a yard deep in the end zone. Straight back to throw. Has some time. Steps up in the pocket. The Wildcats have got him for a safety. Second safety Arizona has recorded this season. It's a 24-12 ball game, and the Cats will get the ball.
That's big.
Really on the field is a safety.
Yes. That's big time by Arizona. That time defense did a great job of just closing the pocket from the inside, and then the pressure on the outside by Hebert. They just got him. They just got there. They won their blocks that time. Excellent job by Arizona defense and really changing the momentum of this game.
Wildcats Radio 1290. I'm Rich Herrera. Thank you so much. I got Dragon Ball over there. Are you looking at me like I'm crazy still?
Well, a little crazy.
Because I was going to complain about the Little League World Series.
Yeah,
you like it?
I
hate the Little League World Series.
I think it's fun, at the very least. It's fun to watch.
I think it's evil.
Kids just playing the game to play the game.
No, that's the last thing that they're doing while they're out there. Hold on. I got to tell you about Walk On Wednesday. We present Walk On Wednesdays at Dave & Buster's. It's brought to you by Goodfellas AC. You get a chance to win a $500 gift prize, $250 cash card, and a $250 Dave & Buster's prize pack. Here's the deal. It takes place at Dave & Buster's in Tucson on Wednesday, August 31st between 6 and 8 p.m. The walk-ons from the Arizona basketball team will be there. You get a chance to play games against them and then register to win this $500 grand prize, $250 in cash cards and $250 in Dave & Buster's prize packs. It's Walk On Wednesday at Dave & Buster's in Tucson. It's August 31st from 6 to 8 p.m. Details are available on our website, wildcatsradio1290.com. these people that watch the Little League World Series, have you seen all the controversy? They've got replays. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
They've got replays. Do you have that sound from the other day?
I do.
All right, here's a kid popping off during the Little League World Series about ESPN and does this sound like just kids having fun in Williamsport, trying to get to Williamsport?
Half the Iowa team was off the field, or at least making a move to leave the field, but with the walk, it brings up Braden Rudolph as the tying run.
Listen to this kid.
ESPN, right now. Whoever pitching is for ESPN, so they can come back. That's because ESPN likes it. All ESPN.
Hey, nothing we can do about that strike call. Okay.
So that's one of the kids on this team. There was a ball four called, and all the kids, oh, that's a strike, and they get mad, which everybody does now. And then as the coach brought everybody together because they were all freaking out because they didn't get the strike call, the one kid goes, well, ESPN, that's why they did it. ESPN just wants drama. ESPN's just looking for ratings. ESPN's, the umpires are doing that because ESPN told them to. Does that sound like kids having a good time in Little League?
That's a kid who's distracted and doesn't want to just play the game.
No, that's a kid who understands what's going on here.
No.
What?
No. You take the calls you get, you take the calls you do, and you just keep on playing.
Okay, but he's worried about the television cameras and ESPN. That's not kids just having fun.
And that's kids distracted.
No.
If you want to be distracted by a call or the TV or whatever.
No. That's because all the pressure you put on these kids to try to get to Williamsport. Because now I've taken 10, 11, 12-year-olds and put them in a national spotlight in a way that they've never experienced before. They'll never experience again. They get built up into big national stars, and they got to go back to school on Monday after they lose and just be a regular kid again. This is like having child actors in the worst possible way. And I tell you what this also does? I sent you this piece of audio. Do I have time to play it? Or am I going to be up against the clock? You want me to play it later?
We can play it.
We can play it. All right. I'm going to give you this little piece of audio. I saw this on Facebook. Somebody recorded it on TikTok. What you do is, because all these parents want their kids to be stars on television, because we all want so much for our kids, parents lose track of why we do these things. So I saw this video, and I pulled the sound. Dragon Ball, play this video of a coach talking about some of the kids' parents on their team.
One of my 6-year-old players' dads called me and say, hey, my son's fielding percentage is wrong. Can you go in and fix it? And I said, well, I can't remember every play, so I doubt I go in and fix it. And he said, well, I thought you'd say that. So I went in and saved the clips and emailed them to you. And I said, man, that's going to make for a funny TikTok. And he said, man, it just seems like all you care about is TikTok. And I said, well, it seems like all you care about is your son's 6-year-old fielding percentage. So I guess we're even.
There are parents like that. 6-year-olds. You know what a 6-year-old is? That's barely a kindergartner. That's a first grader. I saw it. I was on the board of directors of a Little League once. And there was this guy that he was on the board of directors with me. And we had 10-year-olds. And I looked over one day on his computer, and he had this big spreadsheet. I thought he was doing work. He goes, no, I'm figuring out my son's slugging percentage. Your son's slugging percentage? He's in the 3rd grade. Well, between his two travel ball teams and this Little League, we were trying to figure out his slugging percentage because I want to keep these stats. I go, he's 10. Actually, he was 9. He's in the 3rd grade. What are you doing? And there are parents that are that crazy and fanatical about this. All the Little League World Series does on television is create Little League dads that are out there coaching and trying to get their kid to live vicariously through, and travel ball moms that create monsters. And here's the other part. You chase more kids away than you create baseball fans. This whole thing is perverted and perverse. I asked Rob Manfred, the commissioner of baseball, once, what do we do to grow the fan base? He goes, well, we have all these programs for kids. I go, no. What about kids that aren't going to play past high school? What do you do to make them into baseball fans? He had no answer. because they rely on garbage like this. I'll talk a little bit more about this coming up on the program. But right now, Dave Hickey joined us yesterday in the program. We asked him a lot of questions about realignment. That's, in case you missed it, that's next.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, handed to Matherin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Creasa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff. Into the backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellas, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments from the University of Arizona Wildcats?
Fourth down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on fourth down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Arizona. Oh, did they need that? My goodness. Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the board. ASU with the ball, down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his third foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like what, driving down that was from midcourt. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Matherin with the ball for the Wildcats. Matherin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko, feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline, circles back out top to Matherin. 10 to shoot, 16 left in the ballgame. Matherin, 3 balls straight away, good!
That's
We're tied.
A huge shot for Ben Matherin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Matherin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon 5-man front, they shift, play fake, rolling right, McLeod looking to throw, going deep, down, trying to find Berrios, makes the catch inside the 20.
This is David Amon, and here's what's trending on 1290 here at 3:40. A number of Arizona football seniors were listed to the Reese's Senior Bowl watch list. That list includes Jacob Cowing, Jalen Harris, Christian Roland Wallace, and Christian Young. Congratulations to those four. And former Arizona outfielder Ryan Aguilar got the big call, as reports are the Angels are set to call him up from the minors today. Congratulations to Miss Aguilar. And one of the first Super Bowl champion quarterbacks has passed away, sadly, as NFL Hall of Famer signal caller Len Dawson has officially passed. He was 87 years old. And some concern out of Oklahoma City as the Thunder fear that top pick Chet Holmgren may have torn a ligament in his foot. Again, the Oklahoma City Thunder drafted Chet in the first round this year out of Gonzaga. That's what's trending locally and nationally on 1290. Still more to come on the Rich Herrera Show. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
It's Wildcats Wednesday, Tucson. So let's all bear down and let them know who's who. Wildcats Wednesday is brought to you by Tucson's PGA Tour Superstore. Shop the pros at PGA Tour Superstore. Stand up and show your Arizona pride today, Tucson. This is the undisputed home of the Wildcats. Wildcats Radio 1290.
The Rich Herrera Show rolls on. Let's welcome Dave Hickey, Athletic Director, University of Arizona, back from summer vacation. Classes have started, and he will be along with us every Tuesday at this time to talk a little Arizona Wildcat sports. Dave, welcome back. How are you?
Hey, thank you.
Hey, listen, summer's over. Time for us to get back to work, right?
It is, absolutely.
All right. I've got a lot of things to get to, so if you don't mind, let's go rapid fire. Of course, there's a new team that we announced and we want to talk about and getting ready for football, but we haven't got a chance to speak since everything blew up with the realignment, so I wanted to start there if you don't mind. And I don't want to look backwards, but there are a couple things I've been dying to ask you, Dave, and one of those was, how did you find out about USC, UCLA's future plans? What was your reaction? Did you see it coming at all?
Again, I have a lot of history with the league and understand how these things kind of happen, and I've also, been familiar with some of the overtures of USC and their desire to maybe kind of run their own ship a little bit, but it was certainly a surprise the way it came down. It was a surprise that morning when it started to kind of trickle out and then obviously explode, and it was I think a shock to all of us to a certain degree. It's not to mean that we were completely not ready or we didn't know how to react. We always know what to do and how we should react to really challenging situations, but it did take us by surprise.
Do you have plans? Do you guys war game, or do you guys plan out if just crazy things happen like this and have plans and contingency plans if something dramatic happens like that within the athletic world?
Well, I know certainly from my perspective as an athletic director and the athletic director here at Arizona, I have to be aware of what's happening nationally. I have to be aware of the things and kind of the moving landscape, and that's part of the job, to be truly listening and having that ear to the ground and what could happen next. What are some worst case scenarios that might be out there? I game plan a little bit with myself or with our team here internally on some of those what ifs, and certainly it was out there with the Oklahoma-Texas situation. There was some conference instability. You were looking ahead thinking, where is this all really going to go? Lots of media speculation about the future of college football and its management and how big or how small should conferences be. So, I think it was a top-of-mind issue. I didn't think it was going to happen. I didn't think I would wake up that day and it would happen. But you have to be ready, and that's what I mean. You have to be ready to deal with crisis situations, difficult, challenging situations that come your way, and that was one of them for sure for all of us in the conference, and really disappointing to I don't want to speak on behalf of all of my colleagues, but I know there was a lot of disappointment around the table when it did happen and the way it came down.
We're talking with Dave Hickey right now, Athletic Director, University of Arizona. So where are we today in regard to the strength of the Pac-12 conference? I got a chance to sit down with the commissioner at Pac-12 Media Day. He said, you got your weekly calls that everybody's getting on, and in the conference, the 10 teams that we have remaining are standing strong. Where do you think we are today?
I'm a believer that this conference remains very strong, in a stabilized position at this moment. We want to make sure that we, again, are looking forward, taking the steps necessary as a group to continue the future of the Pac-12. And a big part of that is moving forward with a good, strong, longer-term media package. And there's a lot of pieces to that. You can break it down in a lot of different ways. Media, social media people can all debate it and dissect it whatever way they want. But our 10 schools, I know their preference would be to keep this together, to again, maintain the great tradition of the Pac-12 conference, the Pac-10. Many remember back to the Pac-8, but there's something special about the Pac, and it's our desire to keep that together. And big part of that is a media agreement and a media deal going forward. And then we'll talk about stabilizing the conference or building the conference with more members or how it fits into the landscape. But I think that's the first step, is the relationship that we have with our really good media partners and where that will go in the future.
Do you think it's important to strengthen up the numbers and make sure that you have enough? As we're looking at super conferences emerging, that the Pac-12 needs to make sure that it has a footprint, and expansion should be something that definitely will be on the agenda?
I think the strength of our league is well known. The values of our league from a media standpoint, from primarily a football, television standpoint, the eyeballs, the markets, it's very strong. The brand of this conference, the tradition, the great brand of the conference is incredibly strong, across the country. So again, a big piece of this, the anchor, the however you want to look at it, the big piece is getting that media evaluation, getting that done. Where does this land? And then, there can be further conversations about how, whether that's expansion, whether that's alignments, joining, what are creative ways we can work together, maybe with other institutions. I don't think it's any secret. I do believe there's another round at some point of expansion or realignment that kind of defines the total future of college athletics. I don't think that's tomorrow, but I think it's probably sooner than later. And what we want to do is be stabilized and be positioned to take advantage of that next move. And we'll take it one step at a time. I think as many big issues that come out there in politics, sports, whatever in life, it provides the media a great opportunity to speculate and hypothesize and create a frenzy and get people to rush to judgments or try to predict the future. And that's fun. I think that gets people going, and it also gets people down roads that probably are wasted energies. So we've got to just kind of take it one step at a time, do it the right way, put our ducks in a row, put our Wildcats in a row. I don't want to get specific on schools or anything, but just get our house in order.
Right.
And we believe we're in good order right now, and we'll keep moving forward.
Okay, so help me with this part. Like you said, social media's run wild. All of these folks are throwing things out. I don't believe most of them, and I try to do my very, very best to vet them before we talk about them here on the radio. One of those was the early dispatch that the Four Corner schools are immediately jumping to the Big 12. We've seen that has been disproven. But I was wondering, how much communication have you had with your counterparts up in Tempe? How tight are the Wildcats and the Sun Devils trying to steer through these choppy waters?
Yeah, we've been in contact with. I've been in contact with all of my colleagues in the conference. Our presidents have been in contact with each other. We meet regularly with presidents, athletic directors. Conference calls, Zooms. There are individual calls going on all the time between athletic directors. So I enjoy staying in connection with the colleagues, both those here in the state, as well as the Four Corners, as well as the Northwest, as well as the Bay Area. You name it. I think we've all tried to stay in touch and connected and together on the issues. stay current with what's happening. So there's a lot of communication back and forth. Look, again, I'm not going to specifically call people out or something. I'm always amazed at what is now. That's our day and age, of social media. These places that are driven by just a high level of frenzy, and that's good for clicks, or it's good for websites, or it's good for newspapers, whatever it is. I mean, it just this sense that we have to create a frenzy because that's good. I mean, it just I do wake up and read things that I laugh at and wonder where did that even come from.
I've heard that from quite a few people when it talks about the four-quarter schools wanting to jump immediately to the Big 12. And then, and I've said this before, I think it makes sense for Arizona and Arizona State to make sure that you stay partnered up because they've got a big media market, but we've got a big basketball brand down, and both of them seem like they dovetail in with one another.
Yeah, again, I think we offer a lot as a pair. I think there's great value in what we have. Again, our television market, in my opinion, is the state of Arizona, and it's an excellent market as you look for that and compare it across the country. So, that whether that's Arizona or Arizona State, I think we're all in this somewhat together in the state of Arizona. We'll move forward, and we'll move forward in the right way that really puts the University of Arizona in the right spot. And I'm very confident in our brand. I'm very confident in our leadership. I'm very confident in the success that we've had, the investment we make athletically, where we want to be in the spectrum, what type of an institution we are academically. Those are all key components when you look for what's going to happen in the future. Who could we attract? Who would be our partners going forward with schools and media? Those are all important considerations.
You know what? That's a great point. I haven't seen it written. I haven't said it. I haven't thought of it. But when we're talking about media, there's as many Arizona Wildcat alum and fans up in Tempe and Phoenix and in the greater Phoenix metropolitan area. That really should be considered Arizona territory, correct?
Well, again, I think we and I'll say the group in Tempe, we share. We share with ASU. We share this state. Okay, that's our television market. We have people all over this state, and when you value the University of Arizona, you're valuing the television market in the state of Arizona, much like they do in other sections of our footprint, where there's a larger area that they value as the media market. And this is a strong media market with a lot of interest in Arizona athletics. There's no question. You're just not going to put us in the city limits of Tucson and call that our television market. That's not how this works.
That's a great point. I'm glad that you brought that up, and I'm going to steal that, Dave, and keep talking about that. I think that's something that we've been remiss to not talk about. I know how important student athletes are to you. I've gotten to know you over the last couple of years, and this is just a question in general. When we're looking at all of this, I wanted to get your input on how important travel and student athletes' health care is when we're talking about realignment and making sure that kids are going to class, but they're not exhausted when they're going to class. And the Pac-12 has such a nice, tight footprint that you get to travel, but you're staying in the time zones, and it seems a little bit more manageable when you're looking at student athletes' health concerns.
Yeah, I think that's one of the disappointing components to this that we have neglected. We forget the impact this has on the actual participants, the students who go to our universities and participate in sport. I think whether that's administrators, whether that's media, whether that's the general fan out there, we forget the impact that has. We also discount substantially, and I think really unfairly. We've done this for a number of years now. We've discounted the value of being a student athlete, the value and really benefit and how important it is to be a student athlete, how powerful that is on a campus. And we just continue to run towards these ultimate end goals of, hey, I want to know who wins the college football playoff. And then that's all we really talk about. We make decisions and determinations, and we opine based on that, rather than looking at the whole spectrum of what the college athletics model is. Now, again, as I always say, I'm not that naive. I understand that this is evolving, changing, but I do believe we too often minimize, the entire experience and the entire spectrum of student athletes that we have in a variety of sports, and that's not healthy for the college model. I'm on for that, and I just do not think that's in the best interest of college athletics. There is a value to some regionalization, to travel schedules, to interest levels, to parents being able to watch and travel to see their son or daughter. All those are important pieces. And really just caring about fundamentally at the end of the day, we all like to win. We want our school to be great. It's really important in our lives. But, just step back. Would you really want that to happen to your son or daughter? I mean, would you really want to just, put all that pressure and intensity on that person? We know we're at the highest level. So I guess I'm philosophizing a little bit here, and kind of I do think we lose sight of that, and there's a bigger purpose here, and we'll try to weave that together. But it does get lost in some of the decision making, and certainly in some of the evaluations of what should or shouldn't go forward for college athletics.
And I do appreciate the fact that you played. You're a student athlete. You're the parent of a student athlete. You're the athletic director. So I think you have the widest view of all of this. So I do appreciate that. Dave, thank you so much. Do you want to address the Wildcat fans real quick?
Well, I'm glad to be back, Rich. Thanks, and appreciate everyone's support out there, as I try to do every time we visit. We couldn't do it without our great fans, and I really believe after 6 years, this feels like such a great time for our program. I don't think I've been as excited as ever about a season than I am this year. So much great has happened over the last 2 years, and been a little bit with the clouds of COVID and a lot of challenges that we had with all of that in the pandemic. But our teams have performed so well academically, athletically, and I really believe they're positioned. And the enthusiasm around the building and around campus right now, off the charts. So really excited. I hope everybody will share in that. Let's fill that stadium up this year, because this program's headed in the right direction, and it's really that point where the fans can make a big, big difference. Don't let it happen without you. Get in here and let's all do this together.
6-1 Cats. Get your tickets right now. Dave, I've been out of practice. I went to all camp. I missed one workout at training camp. I could tell the difference in the quality of talent, the players, the attitude, and just the enthusiasm. And I think Tucson's going to really get excited about this football product. Thank you so much. We'll catch up with you next week.
Appreciate it, Rich. Bear down, go Cats.
Thank you so much, Dave Hickey, joining us here. Our weekly chat begins today. We'll talk to him every week right here on 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, hand it to Matherin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Creasa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down, in less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff. Into the backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, Goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins. Throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three. Blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it. It's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way. Out to Tabellas. Down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments for the University of Arizona Wildcats?
4th down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on 4th down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's hot! Touchdown, Arizona! Oh, did they need that? My goodness, Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the board. ASU with the ball, down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his 3rd foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like one driving down that was from mid-court. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Matherin with the ball for the Wildcats. Matherin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko. Feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline. Circles back out top to Matherin. 10 to shoot. 16 left in the ballgame. Matherin, 3 balls straight away. Good!
That's a huge shot for Ben Matherin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Matherin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berrios. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill.
90.
We continue with you here on Wildcats Radio 1290. We're the home of Arizona athletics. I'm very proud to welcome on someone I've known for a long, long time, Dave Rubio, head volleyball coach, University of Arizona, our special guest here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Bear down, Dave. How are you?
Bear down. I'm good. Terrific. Thanks for having me on the show.
All right. So last time we got together, I told you that I was going to yell and scream and hold my breath and carry on until you got a new contract extension. And then I bugged Dave Hickey that there's certain things we have to have in Tucson. And one of those is Dave Rubio on the sidelines as the head coach of Arizona volleyball. So I got my wish. So I'm 1-0 right now, I think, with asking stuff from Dave Hickey.
Well, I appreciate that. And then privately, let's get together and I'll give you my wish list.
There you go. You know what? I like that. Back at it again. Volleyball, ready to go. Tell me about the team this year.
We've just finished fall camp, and, school started on Monday, and I think everyone's relieved. It's always a grind when you're going through the 2 weeks of fall camp, and I can share with you that I really feel that we have a chance to be very, very good this year. And, the calendar finally starts to work in our favor, and all those freshmen who were, came in the COVID year now are juniors, and we had one of our graduate seniors last year. The seniors who graduated last year come back for a 5th year with Ziona Fellows, and she's certainly come back a completely different player. And so I'm very optimistic about the upcoming season.
I should have gone to watch your training camp. Instead, like a dope, I stood out there in the sun and fried myself at football training camp. So I'm well versed on what the football players do getting ready for the season. Tell our listeners and the Wildcat fans, what is camp like for volleyball as you guys get ready for the season?
Well, first of all, let me tell you that our red-blue game was on Saturday, right before the football scrimmage, and we had a record crowd. I mean, it was for volleyball. We usually get about 700-800 people, and we had close to 1,200 people for a red-blue scrimmage, so it was fantastic. And hats off to our marketing department, and they're doing a wonderful job of getting the word out and people coming in to watch. So it was always a lot of fun when you're playing in front of a lot of people. But the fall camp, it depends. Every year's a little bit different depending on your personnel and the youth of your personnel. We had every freshman that came in this year actually matriculated a semester early. So we didn't have anybody new come in the fall. And so what to do is really kind of hit the ground running, especially since the majority of our team is juniors and seniors. And so we didn't have, normally we're going twice a day, almost 6 hours a day. This year we only have probably a handful of practices or days where we went twice a day. Most of the time we were doing some type of film and some type of home team building in the morning, and then a full practice in the afternoon. But I really like what I see, and we're a very complete team, meaning that every player is returning from last year's team, and so we have experience and a little talent, and I think we're going to be able to overcome the lack of coaching.
Dave Rubio joining us here on Wildcats Radio 1290. I like that you snuck that one in. Talk to me about the juniors and the seniors and the upperclassmen, because these kids are battle-tested in a way that the generations before them weren't, and the generations after them might not be, because they went through COVID and they went through social distancing and masking and getting tested every day. They went through all of that distance learning, not being able to be around each other. How have they come through this as a group, and how has it made them stronger?
Well, certainly, I think for all of us, right, the last 3 years have been different. And, the one thing you can say about youth, probably more than you can say about, old guys like me, and that is, they're pretty resilient. So even though, the whole paradigm shifted, going into collegiate athletics, certainly for the freshmen, they were able to, make those adjustments. And as unfortunate as it was in terms of not being able to play a fall season, and they had to move the season back to the spring, they adapted and they made those adjustments they needed to make. And I don't think it was ideal, but like I said, they're pretty resilient, and they're able to make those type of situations better. And so I think they're stronger because of it. And we've been able to kind of come out of that with a team that's really close and really pretty good idea what we're trying to accomplish this year. And so, we're excited about the future, and I think all those experiences that we had in the past 2 or 3 years has helped us kind of get to where we are right now. And the chemistry on the team is terrific. The culture is really, really good and strong. And, the beginning of the year, every team is excited and kind of has a hope springs eternal attitude. But I think this particular year, because of the age and the experience we have and everybody returning, the hope is that we're going to be able to kind of be in it for the long haul.
And that's something you've talked about the last couple of years. You've had a young team now that they're maturing in. Like you said, that junior class, and people are coming back, taking advantage of that extra COVID year. Talk to us about the senior leadership on this team.
So, we've been young for so many years now, and I've been envious of those programs that came into COVID that were a little bit older, that were juniors and seniors, and then they would get granted the extra year, the COVID year, and we just never was in a position to take advantage of that. This is the first year we've been able to do that with Ziona Fellows coming back for a graduate senior year, and I haven't had a fifth-year player in probably a decade. And holy smokes, is she a completely different player, has a completely different mindset than she did a year ago, and she's really been a difference maker. So her leadership coming back has been significant. Kamali Haiopo, who's now a senior And, she was a freshman coming in a COVID year. So she's a senior, and she's been, kind of what you expect. Her enthusiasm and her drive and her competitiveness, and then her vocal leadership has been on point and certainly made a difference as well.
PJ Brown had a wonderful article in the Arizona Daily Star talking about Haiopo and all the work that she put in, because there's some spots in your game that I know that you want to improve, and I think Haiopo, for reading PJ's article, could be a big linchpin for success for the Cats this year.
Well, there's no question. That position, in order to be a good, consistent, competitive team from night in and night out, you have to have an elite level setter and you have to have an elite level libero. And I feel like with Kamali...
Wait a second. Can I interrupt you for a second? For those that aren't familiar,
sure.
Explain the different positions for fans, because maybe we'll get more than 12,000. Maybe we'll get a couple extra 100 coming out by listening. So explain the two positions and why these are important.
Well, the setter, would be comparable to, the other sports like basketball, point guard, or football, the quarterback. The setter distributes the ball and determines who's going to hit the ball. The libero is created. This was a new rule that was created probably back in 2004, 2005. And this one particular rule change allows a player that's normally would play back row to be subbed out, but it doesn't cost you a sub, and be able to put a back row player that's, is an elite level passer or defender or server. And so you take out a big and who's maybe the weakest skills are passing, serving, and defense, and you put in someone who's elite at those skills, and now you're even stronger in the back row than you were before. And that one rule change has brought all the teams closer to one another. And so that was a game-changing type of rule that made the competition even that much better from school to school. And so, trying to find an elite level libero is like trying to look for a unicorn or find a leprechaun. I mean, they're really hard to come by. And I feel fortunate that we have one as good as Kamali.
Service last year was something that I know you wanted to improve on. Talk about what you did in camp and how you looked this year serving in unforced errors.
So, receiving errors, which is mean getting aced, the quickest way to earn a point is when the opposing team misses a serve, and the quickest way of giving away a point and giving the other team a point is when we miss a serve. And so we were on the backside, on the negative side, on both the serving errors and also the receiving errors. And so it's something been a big focus for me in fall camp, is just working on the number of serves that we do in practice. And so we're serving probably 120 to 140 serves for the day, probably 60 to 80 serves every practice. So probably an hour of our practice is serving, and then the other, we're doing quite a bit of receiving as well as a result. But we certainly put our time in. In fact, I got to back off a little bit. The players' shoulders are a little sore, but my hope is that we're in the black, and it's like the assist to turnover ratio in basketball. I think it's 3-to-1, which is what the pros want. For us, it's got to be 1-to-1. So every service error that we have, we need to have a service ace. And for every receiving error, meaning we're getting ace, we want to have a serving ace as well. And so that's a pretty high standard. Go 1-to-1 on that, then you're going to have a really good team and a really good season.
I want to go back to Ziona Fellows for just a second. Again, a graduate, got the extra year because of COVID. She comes back, like you said, you haven't had a fifth-year player in a decade. What is it like having someone who's been around you so much, and is she almost an extra coach when she gets out there and can help make sure that she's driving home your message?
I tell you what, she's a wonderful mentor to the 2 to 3 other middles that we have in the program, and they're both, those 3 other middles are young sophomores and freshmen, and so she's been a great example of how to come to practice and how to work every day. And they were all there with her last year, and the improvement is just astonishing. I mean, I can't. It's hard for me to put into words how much better she is this year than she was last year. But it's like, she was reborn, and all of a sudden she's a 6'4", all conference, all American type middle. and we're not sure what happened, but we certainly like it. But she's been fantastic for us.
Dave Rubio joining us right now on Wildcats Radio 1290. Since we got a chance to talk to you right now, and like I said, I've known you for a long, long time. Talk to the fans that might not have ever come out to a volleyball game, a volleyball match, maybe don't know much about the game. And, there's times where I'll go want to watch a new sport, but I'm a little intimidated because I don't know anything about it, and I don't want to feel foolish when I go out. Talk to fans right now about coming out and trying a volleyball game for the very first time and what they'll see and why they should come out.
I tell you what, watching women's volleyball is even volleyball collegiate level, you would be, I think the general layman would be very surprised at how athletic the women are, how quick and how fast, and the moves that they make on the floor, the enthusiasm by what you play. I think they'd be really surprised and enjoy the match, enjoying the entertainment that goes with it. So we're trying to create not just an event, an athletic event, but an event where it's entertaining from the time you walk in the arena, from the music that you listen to the product that we have when we're playing. I think that anyone that comes in the first time is going to always come back just because of how entertaining both those things are.
It really is a lot faster. You can't appreciate the speed of women's volleyball unless you're there. You can watch it on TV, but that doesn't do it justice, Dave.
Right, very much like hockey. I think hockey on TV is completely different than you watch it in person. You're going, holy smokes. And I think women's volleyball is very similar to that. I think once you get there, especially if you're playing against two elite level teams. This weekend we're playing, our opening weekend is on Friday. Friday night we'll play against a really athletic New Mexico State team. And, you'll be really surprised at the moves and at the athleticism of the players, And so, there's 6'3", 6'4", 6'5" young ladies that are jumping, and playing, for us, you would say above the rim. They're all above 10 feet, and, good athletes with good explosive movements. So I think that it would really enjoy anyone that's never gone to a match before.
Dave Rubio joining us right now. Actually, can I make sure I get this right? Because we talked to Fred Harvey a lot. I talked to you. You're the dean of coaches. You're the longest tenured head coach at the University of Arizona, correct?
That's correct. Fred's been here longer than me, but he started off as an assistant and then took over as a head. But Fred's been here longer than I have. I think he's going on 35 years, and I'm going on 31 years. But I've been the head coach for 31 years.
You've been here for 31 years. Now you're making me feel old.
I think, you never know what it feels like until you get there. And, it just doesn't feel like I've been doing it for that long. I'm just as excited and just as passionate about what I'm doing and love what I'm doing. And I'm fortunate to be able to have done it for as long as I have.
All right, I asked you this question a couple of years ago, but I'll ask it to you again. How has Dave Rubio changed, matured, progressed over the years, and how has the University of Arizona changed and progressed and gotten better over the years?
Holy smokes, that's a loaded question, especially even within the last 3 or 4 years with, all the changes that happen in intercollegiate athletics with the NIL and transfer portal and a lot of things that are going on right now currently. But, my players asked me the question the other day. We were having a scouting report on, discussion about each other. Like if you were to describe yourself, give me your strengths and weaknesses, and each player kind of went around the room. And when I finally got to me, I talked a little bit about, what my strengths and weaknesses were. And so they asked me the question of, what are the differences of the players that played back in the 90s when you first got hired versus today? And, and so I thought that was a really terrific question. But, the biggest thing is that, when I grew up, and I'm sure a lot of people my age feel the same way, it's like when you asked your parents why there was a reason we had to do something, your parents' response was, because I told you so. And that was it. There was no explanation, and so when you coach those players back in the 90s, when you coached them, you didn't have to explain anything. It's like, and if they asked you, it's like, why are we doing this? It's like because I told you so. Just keep your mouth shut and do it. And that was very acceptable back in that era, back in in that generation. And today, that's completely ineffective. And players are really turned off by that. And it's not that they're any less committed or want to work any harder, any less hard. They really want to work hard. They're committed. So it's really the same type of intangibles. There's just a different level of communication that they have with today's players, and so they want to be part of the discussion. They want to know the reasons why. And once, you tell them, hopefully they'll buy into what you say, and then they're all in. So it's just it's a little bit different, and you got to be a lot more artful in your ability to communicate. And so those are one of the changes, and it's not that the players have to change, the coaches have to change. The coaches are the ones who are going to, and if you're not willing to change, you're not going to be around. And that's the reality of it. So the old Dave Rubio was, hey, my way or the highway. The new Dave Rubio is, hey, let's just sit down and discuss it, and let's come to, some type of, a place where we can both agree on which direction we're going.
Which Dave Rubio is more fulfilling for you personally?
I think they're both, I think it depending on the times, and the times it was fine. I was really, actually, I think it's more fulfilling this year. My relationship with my players is far better now than it was back in that era, back in the 90s. It was probably not as, I just get along with the players really. We have a good dialogue, and the communication is much better. It's a much friendlier Dave Rubio this year. Where back in the era, it was pretty hardcore, and I think a lot of coaches are like that. Whether it was Bobby Knight, I probably wasn't on that far end of it, but you kind of coach more like that than you did, on the way that we coach today.
Okay, 2 questions before we let you go. One might be silly. The other one I do want to ask you about your thoughts on all this realignment stuff and how it affects Olympic sports. But I this is a goofy question, but every time I look at the sand volleyball courts and I look at McHale, and I wonder, do we have crossover between the two? What's the difference between athletes that are great sand volleyball players? Do they have anything in common with great indoor volleyball players?
We had one player play on the indoor team, play in the sand team. That was Dilara. Make sure I pronounce this right because she's from Turkey, and I think it's Gedikola is her name. So Dilara Gedikola played both, and I think the indoor, the beach game lends itself more to the indoor game versus the indoor game lending itself more to the beach game. And so I think that the players that are playing beach would probably make an easier transition playing the indoor game and versus the indoor. It's kind of like water polo and swimming.
Gotcha.
You're both swimming, but one's completely different. And so I think that the beach game, there's probably a couple players that could probably play back row for us. Probably few players that are going to be physical enough and able to play front row.
Do the two root for each other? Because I know you'll go out and watch beach volleyball, but do the Beach Cats come and root for the indoor team, and does the indoor team go root for the Beach Cats?
Yes, they do, especially since we have a player that's playing. But our locker rooms are in the same. We share the same locker room and the same lounge area. So they're just by nature, because of the close proximity to one another. They're running into each other. And my daughter plays on the beach team as a non-scholarship player, and so it's been a really wonderful experience for me to have my daughter here on campus and playing, in intercollegiate athletics as a student athlete. But I think the two programs are pretty close.
What kind of spectator is Dave Rubio when you watch your daughter? Because I know when I'm watching my son play baseball and he's still playing baseball, I am a nervous wreck.
I'm terrible. I'm a terrible spectator in general for all my kids' sports, whether my son's playing baseball and, my daughter's playing volleyball. And, I'm just a terrible spectator. I don't actually enjoy watching very much. I'm just too critical, so I just end up not watching. But I try to be there to support all the kids.
That's me. I go down the outfield. I go down the line and stand out by there myself, my arms folded, try to be supportive, but try not to just completely melt down watching because you want so much greatness for your kid. All right, one last thing before we let you go. I've talked about all this realignment through the prism of football, and I talked about it through basketball, and I keep alluding to, well, what happens to all the rest of the Olympic sports? What are your thoughts on what we should throw into the discussion when we're talking about these geographical things blowing up and the fact that volleyball might be a sport where you're going to have kids flying cross country on a weekly basis and still trying to get their practice time in and their treatment and get to class?
When they announced it, I was, heartbroken like everybody else when, the LA schools, they announced that they're going to 10 and, but after, thinking about it, it's really not in the best interest of student athletes traveling 3 time zones away and 5 to 6 hours on a road trip every other weekend. I mean, we know that the student athletes right now, have a lot of power. And I think right now, the student athletes currently don't have any concept of what it's going to be like to do that. And then, to miss all that class time and to be on the road for as long as they're going to have to be, even if they're getting a charter flight, it's still going to be a really long road trip every other weekend. And, anybody that's flown to the East Coast knows how difficult it is from a time change standpoint. And so I think that when that starts to happen, when the 24 season begins and the student athletes out there a full year are just going to rebel. I think they're going to go, hey, this isn't our best interest. This is not, and regardless of the amount of money, I think that eventually this comes back in some form, and the student athletes are going to rise up and say, we don't want this anymore. Now, I don't know what's going to happen after that, but I do know that the Olympic sports teams are really going to, the student athletes are really going to have a difficult time with it.
All my years in baseball traveling, I will tell you, it takes toll on me, and I didn't have to get up and go to class, and I didn't have to take tests. I just had to, be on the bus by 3 to get to the ballpark for the 7 o'clock start, and it's a grind. And I don't know what's going to happen when you're going all the way from Southern California to Rutgers, Maryland, and if they indeed have all of these big, gigantic super conferences, I don't know how that benefits any of the student athletes.
Well, it doesn't. Like next week we're flying to North Carolina, right? That's going to be a 3-hour time change for us, and I've done it a couple times, and I rarely want to do that, because how difficult it is to get acclimated to the East Coast time zone, and our match isn't until the evening, so it makes it a little bit easier, but still, it's just a rough transition.
100%. Dave Rubio's been our guest here on Wildcats Radio 1290. I say this, and I did a lousy job of this, Dave. I need to talk a little bit more about volleyball, and I need to make a better effort this season to get your student athletes on so we could share their stories. I mean, I can't wait to talk to Haiopo because she was quoting Malcolm Gladwell's 10,000 hours in order to be proficient. I talk about that all the time. So this year, I'm going to do a better job. I'm going to reach out to you. I'll reach out to the folks in the SID office. I need to have on your student athletes so we can tell their stories.
Well, I certainly appreciate it, but hopefully we're going to give you a reason to follow us really closely. I think, and I shared this with the team the other day, I think this will be the best team we've had in 10 years. And that includes the round of 16 team we had back in 2017. So, I think we have a chance to be really, really good at an elite level.
Dave, I appreciate you coming on with me. I'll catch up with you soon.
Sounds great. I appreciate it, Rich.
All right, take care. Bear down. Dave Rubio joining us. Bear down. Dave Rubio joining us here, volleyball coach, University of Arizona. I went a little over. I'm sorry, Dragon Ball, but I got excited talking to him. I've known Dave Rubio since I was in college. Yeah, I'm old. 31 years at the U of A. Anyway, coming up on the program, Dragon Ball's football headlines, right? All right, we'll do that next year at 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show, now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, hand it to Mathurin between the rings, over for Krisa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Krisa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff. It is good. Backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellas, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments from the University of Arizona Wildcats?
Fourth down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on fourth down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Arizona. Oh, did they need that? My goodness. Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the field. ASU with the ball, down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his third foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like what, driving down that was from midcourt. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Mathurin with the ball for the Wildcats. Mathurin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko, feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline, circles back out top to Mathurin. 10 to shoot, 16 left in the ballgame. Mathurin, 3 balls straight away, good!
That's
We're tied.
A huge shot for Ben Mathurin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Mathurin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berrios. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball, he underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it and made a great play on the ball. An amazing play by Jordan McLeod.
Brown will take the snap a yard deep in the end zone, straight back to throw, has some time, steps up in the pocket, the Wildcats have got him for a safety. Second safety Arizona has recorded this season. It's a 24-12 ball game, and the Cats will get the ball.
That's big
Really
time.
on the field is a safety.
Yes. That's big time by Arizona. That time defense did a great job of just closing the pocket from the inside, and then the pressure on the outside by Hebert. They just got him. They just got there. They won their blocks that time. Excellent job by Arizona defense and really changing the momentum of this game.
This is David Amata, and here's what's trending on 1290 here at 4:37. After the second scrimmage, Jed Fish said the competition was still open for the number 1 jersey, but the Wildcats have found their man as wideout Anthony Simpson has earned the honor of being number 1 on the team's jersey numbers. And the Cardinals are already taking advantage of offensive lineman Cody Ford following his recent trade from Buffalo, as he was there slotted into the first team practice after Justin Pugh recovers from injury. And reports are starting to heat up for the Knicks and the Jazz after New York reportedly says they are interested in trading R.J. Barrett for Utah star Donovan Mitchell. And while the current season is still underway, Major League Baseball has officially announced their upcoming schedule for the 2023 season. That's what's trending locally and nationally on 1290. Still more to come on the Rich Herrera Show. This is Wildcats Radio, 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
The Dragon Ball cam has gotten a lot of work today.
It's gotten a little bit. It's gotten a little bit today.
Is that good or bad?
I'm not blowing out the screen with how bright my skin. Like, that was probably one thing that I got the first day that I came back from being clean shaven. Everyone was saying that I was blowing the camera out because it was so white reflecting off of my skin because I have no tan.
So I can call you Big Pasty?
Just about, yeah. That was pretty much what everybody was saying at some point or another. Either that or either that or Snowball, one of the two.
Hey, the Rich Herrera Show is brought to you in part by QC Kinetics. I'd love to play volleyball. I'd love to do a lot of things I did when I was younger. I'd love to be able to get up and not make that sound, and then sit right back down because of that pain in your back. Is that something you say sometimes to yourself? Where did my youth go? Why does everything hurt? Okay, listen. If you've got that chronic joint pain in your knees and your hips and your back and it makes you feel like an old man, stop it. You don't have to live that way anymore. Listen, you've got QC Kinetics right here in Tucson. They help people deal with this, and they give them relief, lasting pain relief from these achy hips and elbows and shoulders and joints and backs. That's what they do. You know, way back when, you had pretty much three things you could do. Let's see. I got achy joints. What do I do? Well, first I'll take steroids. And when that didn't work, then you go to painkillers. And when that didn't work, then you went to surgery. Well, guess what? That was 1970, and they can keep their old medicine and ways of doing things back then because now it's 2022, and we've got QC Kinetics. Here's what they do. They concentrate your own body's healing agents and apply them to your aching joints, restoring and repairing damaged tissue. Boom. No drugs, no steroids, no surgery. What are you waiting for? I mean, unless you like living in chronic pain, which I don't think anybody does. So here's the deal. I'll get your free consultation. All you got to do is call 520-497-4955. That's 520-497-4955. Locations right here in Tucson Academy and Orange Grove, 520-497-4955. It's an exciting new way. It's a natural way to deal with joint pain. Again, no side effects, no downtime. QC Kinetics. Call them right now, 520-497-4955. All right, time for the favorite part of the program for everybody. It's Dragon Ball's Football Headlines.
Football is a game played by men. Big, physical men. Men with ill intentions who wish to wreak havoc upon their opponents. It's a game based on land acquisition at the expense of your opponent, even if you must sacrifice your own body and health for the good of your team. It can be brutal at times and bloody. It can be painful and punishing. It's played in coliseums in front of rabid, cheering, adoring fans with bloodlust in their eyes. The passion for football cannot be matched by anything else. So to help quench your thirst for all the latest news from the world of football, Wildcats Radio 1290 proudly presents
Dragon Ball's Football Headlines. Hey, what's a Dragon Ball? Is that a cartoon or something?
No, that's the producer who's going to be reading the headlines. Can you just say the name?
Okay, here's Dragon Ball.
I love that.
All right, so our first bit of news, sadly, we're going to start out with another sad story to start the football headlines. This one coming out of Kansas City. Len Dawson, Hall of Fame quarterback, 87 years old, has officially passed away. And this was a very sad thing because I think, honestly, Len Dawson, you could argue, is probably one of the first real like stars of the quarterback position after the NFL AFL merger between him and Joe Namath being from the AFL side of things.
I'll disagree.
Really?
I'm going to disagree. I think he was. So Len Dawson led the Kansas City Chiefs to their Super Bowl championship, right?
Right. He was in two Super Bowls.
Two Super Bowls.
Super Bowl one, and then they won
Super Bowl 2. Oh, Super Bowl 4 with Hank Stram.
Yeah.
Okay. But I think he was more than that, Dragon Ball. Because you had Bart Starr.
Yes.
And you had other quarterbacks at that time. But you know what he was one of the first to do? To make that transition to stay in our lives a lot longer than just his playing career.
Right.
Because he played for the Kansas City Chiefs, and then he was a broadcaster. He was one of the first to go off the field into the booth, and he was a darn good play-by-play man.
One of the first players to be inducted in the Hall of Fame twice.
Yeah.
In regards to him being a player, and then his broadcasting career, he was, I believe he was inducted in 2012.
A gentleman.
As a broadcaster. Also, the subject of maybe the most iconic photo in NFL history.
I knew you were going to bring this up.
Those of you who do not know, all you need to look up is the Super Bowl.
Tell people.
Well, I can explain it, but saying it does not.
By the way, that was a soda, not a beer that I'm opening.
Saying what this is and describing it in words does not fully encapsulate the amazingness of this picture.
I can tell people.
So, Len Dawson had a halftime photo taken of him at Super Bowl I against the Packers, and it is a picture of him
in full uniform.
In full uniform.
Sweaty, hair matted. I think he had eye black.
No eye black.
No eye black?
No
okay.
eye
Are
black.
you looking at the photo?
Yeah. Oh, no, I got the photo up. He's in a folding chair, a steel folding chair like you would find just laying about wherever.
In any auditorium in America.
Yep. And he is taking a long drag from a cigarette. And he's got an open bottle of Fresca between his legs, which, reminder, Fresca no longer exists. That's how old this photo is. Fresca was discontinued in 2020.
Have you ever had Fresca?
I didn't. I don't think I ever had a Fresca, but
it was awful.
He has a Fresca.
I like RC. That's an old school soda.
Yes.
Royal Crown. Love RC. Fresca was like the precursor to Diet Coke.
Yes. Also, I just want to comment that the tube socks, the height that these tube socks went for these guys was the funny. Like, these are not old school. Like, the new age NFL socks are very like they're very like form fitting. These look like just tube socks that you would find laying around in like your great grandpa's drawer.
Yeah, because he was a great grandpa. They were cotton tube socks. Now they're dry fit. But the iconic photo of him smoking a cigarette with a soda that, way back when, you used to be able to smoke in planes, Dragon Ball.
Yep.
You could smoke in restaurants. I remember waiting tables, and you had to work, and sometimes I have to work in the smoking section.
Yes.
And I hated it.
Oh, no. It basically ends up looking like a fog is coming over the building.
And when I tended bar, when I was putting myself through school and I would work, I would have to leave my clothes in the garage because they would reek of cigarette smoke so bad.
Oh, yeah.
Or if I had my apron and I left it in my car overnight, I get into my car the next day, it would reek of cigarettes. But just think about you could smoke anywhere. You could smoke on a plane. People used to smoke on television. Johnny Carson used to smoke on TV. You could smoke anywhere you wanted, on planes and cars. You could smoke in restaurants. It was just so natural that there's some old school baseball managers that would sneak in and they'd hold a cigarette between their finger and thumb, their forefinger and thumb.
Yep.
Take a drag and hide it so they wouldn't see it.
Yep.
Smoking is so frowned upon now.
Yes.
So could you imagine seeing a modern day athlete in the locker room
never in the locker room
with a heater?
No. The best part is, though, they did an interview with former Chiefs tight end Fred Abrams, who was on the same Chiefs team at the time. He said, I'd smoke a cigar. Probably half the guys smoked cigarettes back then in the locker room. A lot of times you come in the locker room, you couldn't see. It'd be so smoky in there. There were plenty of guys smoking cigarettes, but Lenny's the quarterback, so he was the one they snapped.
Right.
So it wasn't like Len Dawson was this just this loose cannon or anything.
Everybody
was doing it.
Everybody's in there smoking a heater, drinking a Fresca. That's what modern medicine was back in the 60s.
Yeah, no. Nowadays, you got guys like getting like IVs for like fluids and things like that.
So
you couldn't do that.
Have I ever told you this? You know, there's only certain things you could drink on the sidelines.
Yes, you can only drink certain Gatorades or whatever it is.
So I was in Indianapolis doing a Colts game, and I didn't know. Oh, look, guess who's calling me? Booney, I'm doing the shows. I told him, like, Brett, we have the show on during the middle of the day. He goes, yeah, I know. Calls anyway. I was in Indianapolis at the old RCA Dome doing a game. And I didn't realize that I was allowed to, as a sideline reporter, drink out of the Gatorade tubs on the side.
Right. Yes, you mentioned this.
So I went up into the stands and I got a bottle of water. I came back downstairs. I was drinking my water. I almost got tackled by the security people. You can't drink that down there. Why? You can only drink Gatorade down here and have Gatorade cups. What are you doing? It was the same company as, I think it was Dasani. It was the same company. Took my water bottle, threatened to throw me off the sideline. They go, if you want something to drink, if you want water, go get a Gatorade cup. I wonder what happened if I was out there smoking a heater on the sideline.
Oh, I think if you were smoking a cigarette nowadays on the sideline, you'd be removed. Especially considering that you get a lot of teams that are trying to save their grass field as much as they possibly can. Unless you're the Chicago Bears, in which case they're just a Bad Bunny concert and they literally set the grass on fire for it 2 weeks before opening day.
Love it.
Come on.
What else do you got?
What I also got for you is, Rich, who did you say is always doing like the morning jogs and things like that you know?
The morning jogs?
Like you just doing morning exercises, doing walks. I think it was Glenn had mentioned something about it.
Oh, Hal does.
Yeah, Glenn.
Hal gets up.
So
Rich thinks about it.
This is just a reminder for everybody that is looking to do any kind of physical activity to always stretch and always be, making sure you're taking care of yourself appropriately.
Why?
Because Indianapolis Colts kicker, this is coming out of Westfield.
Kicker.
Colts punter, Roberto Sanchez has officially torn his ACL, or torn his Achilles, I should say, doing wind sprints.
Why?
That was it. He was just doing wind sprints, and he ruptured his Achilles tendon, and now he's officially done for the year.
Was he working out by himself? Was he at camp?
I think it was with the team. They were doing the
didn't
team
stretch properly.
Well, that's what I mean. Everybody, no matter what,
I thought he was out like running down the street.
No, just doing
smoking a heater.
No, just during wind sprints at practice. Just was running his sprints, and he
ruptured his Achilles.
Tore his Achilles, and now he's done for the year. So
you know how bad that hurts?
Oh, I can't imagine, especially for someone who is, especially with the leaping punters have to do constantly.
No, just walking around with the torn Achilles.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, just in general, when he has to, because I'm always thinking ahead in regards to what is this guy's rehab going to look like. That's not going to be pretty when he has to take that first snap.
No, that's like an 18-month. That's like an 18-month rehab too.
So best of luck to him, because he's not the only one. I guess defensive end Kwity Paye suffered a knee injury in Wednesday's practice as well. So they're going to have to go ahead and watch him.
Okay,
too.
So I need to explain this to you.
Yes,
you realize when we put that open together, football is a game played by men.
Yes.
Football's a dangerous game.
Oh, yeah.
People get hurt all the time. I don't want you to be sad when people get hurt. It's part of the game.
Oh, it's part of the game, but at the same time, you can still hope that everybody makes it through.
No.
Yes, you can still hope for it.
No. Why don't you just hope for unicorns and money to fly out of your butt?
I can hope for rain in the desert, and I have gotten it, sir. I have gotten it the last few days.
You got a better shot of getting rain in the desert than you do going through a football season with no one getting hurt.
Well, it's football season, nobody getting hurt.
All right,
obviously,
so
that's not going to happen.
Here's your level of things you can wish for with some kind of certainty. Rain sometime in the middle of the desert, people getting hurt, and money coming out of your rear end. Only one of those you have some kind of certainty. The other two, impossible.
It's impossible. You still don't want to see it happen.
No, you don't want to see it happen, but it's part of the game. No, but every time somebody gets hurt, another sad day. Another player got hurt. Hi, it's a day of the week that ends in a Y. It is a dangerous game.
And it's somebody's potential career.
Yeah, and that's part of the game.
And that sucks.
But no.
Yes.
It's why we watch football.
Yes, it is.
Football is predicated upon organized violence.
I can at least hope that a guy is able to have at least a 4-year, 5-year career before just everything just goes belly up.
4 years. What's the average career length of an NFL player? It's not 4 years.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I can at least hope that a guy's have 4 years of at least healthy football.
You're soft.
Maybe. But at the same time, I don't think it makes me...
I did a show on CBS. By the way, I'm not doing any shows this week. I got 4 next week. Going to be a busy boy next week.
Yeah.
And I asked, why is football king? And you know what 95% of the respondents were?
Because of the violence.
Because of the violence and the mayhem.
And I understand
You're a guy that, you know what? You root for NASCAR not to have crashes.
I don't like the idea of the cars going over the wiring. That's the thing.
Nobody wants anybody to be maimed, but...
Yeah, if the crash happens and the crash happens, I'm just hoping everybody gets up and walk away.
Do you want them... You're a hockey guy. You love hockey, right?
Yes, I love hockey.
Do you like the fighting in hockey, or would you rather them eliminate fighting?
I like when the fighting is to send a message. I don't like wonton fighting, where guys are just looking to see how big of a...
Fighting over the last wonton?
No, just wonton fighting, meaning that just...
That's not a word.
Wonton?
Wonton. Wonton is something I get from Panda Express. Wonton is a word. Wonton is a food. The wanton violence going on in Rich's head. The wonton that you and I will fight over because it's the last one is different. Wanton.
I see it's W-A-N-T-O-N.
Wanton.
Wonton.
Wanton.
I say it with a little bit of a long O. That's just
well,
me.
then, yeah, but say it again.
Wonton.
Again?
Wonton.
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 Wanton.
Wonton.
No, they're two different things. One is Chinese food. The other is just with disregard.
The other one is something excessive, uncontrolled, and sometimes even cruel.
Yeah, wanton.
If the fighting is just happening because guys are trying to prove how big and bad they are, then
I
don't
love
approve
that.
of it. If it's just to go ahead and be like, hey, don't hit my guy.
Do you want to eliminate punching and holding and kicking in MMA next?
No, because that's what that sport is.
Would you rather them not punch
I'm
in
not
boxing?
hoping for Anderson Silva to have his foot kicked out from underneath him and then have his leg flapped into a two-sectional chicken wing. That's not what I'm hoping for. If a guy gets knocked out, a guy gets knocked out.
You're the kind of guy who goes to an all-you-can-eat buffet hoping that people won't gorge themselves.
I'm hoping that I can at least get some of the prime rib before I have to wait for the next one to come out of the oven.
Because the wanton disregard for etiquette with prime rib is much higher in a situation like that as opposed to people that are standing there fighting over wontons.
Yes. Absolutely the case. Or the crab puffs, for that matter.
You got one more? Or are you going to tell me to shut up because I
think we're
busting your chops over your...
The only other one that I got here for you is that we have another transfer quarterback earning the starting job, which, again, it just keeps happening. Pitt just named USC transfer Keaton Slovis as their starting quarterback. And at this point now, I'm kind of waiting to see exactly when we get the final word.
Okay, so let's just go through the Pac-12 off the top of my head. Arizona's got a transfer quarterback.
Arizona?
ASU's got a transfer quarterback.
USC's got a transfer.
Got one. UCLA kept theirs. DTR. Stanford is... what's his name? He's McGee. He's still there from last year.
Utah's got their guy.
He's a transfer, but he was there last year.
Yeah.
Colorado, I don't know off the top of my head. Where else am I going to look?
I think Washington also just named their starting quarterback was a transfer as well.
Right. That was why Jaden Delores down here. Yeah. So that's a transfer.
No, Washington, not Washington State.
Oh, Washington. Okay, so Washington's a transfer. Washington State's a transfer. Oregon, I believe, is a transfer. Oregon State, I don't know.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head.
So just another long line of transfer quarterbacks.
Just this
getting the
wanton disregard for the transfer portal. But maybe some of these guys want to go find another school where they have really great wontons.
Maybe they do. I don't know about Tucson though. We got good tacos, street tacos out here.
Wonton. The wontons here are amazing.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Okay, I'm just saying, he was the one who's mispronouncing and not me. Coming up. Can I go on my rant about Little League Baseball? Are you going to let me do that now?
Absolutely.
We'll do that next.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, hand it to Matherin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Creasa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff. Into the backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry. Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellis, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments for the University of Arizona Wildcats?
Fourth down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on fourth down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Arizona. Oh, did they need that? My goodness. Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the field. ASU with the ball, down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his third foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like what, driving down that was from midcourt. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Mathurin with the ball for the Wildcats. Mathurin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko, feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline, circles back out top to Mathurin. 10 to shoot, 16 left in the ballgame. Mathurin, 3 balls straight away, good!
That's
We're tied.
Huge shot for Ben Mathurin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Mathurin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berryhill. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball. He underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it and made a great play on the ball. An amazing play by Jordan McLeod.
Brown will take the snap a yard deep in the end zone. Straight back to throw. Has some time. Steps out of the pocket. The Wildcats have got him for a safety. Second safety Arizona has recorded this season. It's a 24-12 ball game, and the Cats will get the ball.
That's big time.
Early on the field is a safety.
Yes. That's big time by Arizona. That time defense did a great job of just closing the pocket from the inside, and then the pressure on the outside by Hebert. They just got him. They just got there. They won their blocks that time. Excellent job by Arizona defense and really changing the momentum of this game.
Rich Rare Radio Show rolls on. All right, you want to know what Boone was calling about?
What was he calling about?
Do you think the people that listen to the show are like, why is it that Herrera's friends don't remember that he's got a show?
Because everybody's on different time zones.
Is that what it is?
It might be. It also might be that they just don't care and they figure that you're constantly at their beck and call.
Well, as he says, I don't know when you work because you work all the time. Because I'll do this show, I'll do the network show. We have the golf show that we do. Then I'm working in the office or at practice. Because I just call because if I just try to figure out when you're not working, I would never call. Like, okay, 3 to 6, we have a radio show. Because I'm a regular on the show. I come on whenever I want. Which is true.
This is fair.
Right? So he was all excited. He had Linda Cohen on his podcast.
Yeah.
From ESPN. You should like Linda. She's a big hockey person.
Yeah.
He goes, Rich, one of the best podcasts I've ever done. I said, okay. So he's telling me about how great the podcast was. So I said, oh, I'm excited. I like his podcast, not just because I help him with it, but they're entertaining.
Right.
Are you just saying right to me, or are you saying right because I'm right?
Because you're right.
Okay, just checking. Can I trust you? Or are you just placating me? Your wanton disregard for my feelings makes me upset. In fact, I might have to stress eat later and get some wontons.
I think I'm doing.
For those of you just getting in your car right now at 5 o'clock, Dragon Ball tried to tell me the wonton fighting in hockey bothers him.
I hate wonton fighting. I don't mind fighting.
I don't like people fighting over food either. Okay, next time I mispronounce something or I have marbles in my mouth, I go, you can go ahead and just bust my chops all you want.
All right.
I probably mispronounce about 3 words a show. More? Less? What do you think?
It's more so names, I think, is the big one.
Well, names are tough, but there's every once in a while I'll bite the side of my cheek and just say something, and I'll look like, God, I sound like I'm stupid that I mispronounced that.
I don't think it's nearly that bad.
Okay, good. Let me see. What are we going to do right now? Oh, we got to check the text messages. What's the one game that the Cats have to win this year, in your opinion? 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. The number for you to join us. Text the word Rich to 520-848-1290. A quick reminder, and this one means a lot to me, so please listen. Wildcats Radio 1290 is partnering with the 9/11 Tower Challenge once again this year. Join us in climbing 2,071 steps. That's the same number as the World Trade Center towers at this year's 9/11 Tower Challenge on Sunday, September 11th at the Tucson Convention Center Arena. Pre-registration is required. $45 includes a shirt, challenge coin, badge of one of the fallen, and a post-event snack. All proceeds benefit first responders and military charities. You can also attend the 9/11 Tower Challenge keynote dinner on Friday, September 9th. Tickets are $45. All proceeds benefit first responder and military charities. For more information, go to wildcatsradio1290.com. Where were you on September 11th?
I was getting ready to go to school.
In Flagstaff?
No, I was little kid.
How old am I?
Yeah, I was still going to elementary school at the time.
Were you really?
Yep.
So old. Did you go to school that day?
Yep.
And then did they send you home? Did they bring TVs in?
No, we just kind of had our, from my recollection, we still just had the regular. What grade were you in? I want to say 2001, I was around 8 years old, so I want to say I was either in 4th or 5th grade.
Did you comprehend what was going on?
Not really. I don't think anybody in the school did outside of the teachers that day.
I know some schools, they brought in television so the kids could watch what was going on. They didn't do that for you?
Not that I remember.
Did they send you home early?
I remember having the full day. I remember doing the full day, and at least we tried to just keep classes and things like that.
And then what did you do when you got home? Did you know what was going on?
Just getting the little updates that I could find on the news, and that was about it.
When did you this is fascinating because my recollections of 9/11 are completely different than yours. What did you do that day? Just went to school. How did you? What did you?
Stayed quiet for the most part. I mean, it was
because all the adults were sad.
Well, the adults didn't really know what to say, and none of us really. I mean, we talked among ourselves, like as the students, we tried to figure out what all was going on. We didn't know what was happening.
You couldn't comprehend it.
Some of the kids that watched the news better than I did, they tried to give me a breakdown of it. And I was like, "Oh."
What did the teachers say?
Teachers just kind of they addressed it, saying that something happened. But they didn't really go into too much detail as to like who did what or where.
Then
everything.
When you got home, you saw news?
Yeah, just watching on the news and seeing all what happened and things like that.
Did you take your cue from the adults because all the adults were sad, so you were sad?
I really didn't take a cue, and I didn't get sad. I was just confused. I didn't know what all was going on. It was one of those things where it's probably similar to like when young kids, in the previous generation, when they were like elementary school kids, heard about, JFK being shot, they didn't know exactly what. It's like, what do you mean?
Did you feel scared?
I remember the day after figuring out who was responsible and things like that, or who took responsibility for the incidents across the country. I remember being a little bit scared in daily life, not knowing what would be next, but didn't really let it take too much of a hold. Because it was just like, it's not here. It's not in my backyard. I don't think that there's any,
They weren't attacking Tucson.
They weren't going to be going after Tucson, was my mindset, is that there was nothing here that was a landmark position to attack. So I didn't feel that scared, but I definitely understood like where kids outside of where I live, they were like, oh, I can understand them being scared.
So I was in Los Angeles. I was in Redondo Beach. I had just gotten off work. I worked at Fox Sports then. And I did a Sunday night show. And I got home about 2 o'clock in the morning. No, what day was it? I know I worked the night before. And I had worked late. Was it on Monday or Tuesday? I can't remember what day of the week it was. Anyway, I knew I got home late, like 2 in the morning. My son his birthday is September 12th, so he was not quite 1, but we had the birthday party the weekend before. My mom and dad had taken them to their house, which is about 2 hours away from ours. So it was just my wife and I, and Riggs was up there with them, and my wife woke me up, and we had this little black and white, or this little color television, little tiny television in the bedroom, and she turned it on. She goes, "Hey, you better see this. A plane crashed into the World Trade Center." And I said, oh, and I kind of rolled over and went back to sleep. She goes, no, you need to wake up to see this, because I had only been asleep for maybe 3 hours. And I rolled back over and I looked, and I put on my glasses just as the plane hit the second tower. And I thought, oh my gosh. And right there, Dragon Ball, within probably 20 minutes, we had F-15s, or we had fighter jets flying over our house because we lived right next to LAX. And usually around our house, there was just the sky was full of planes, and all of a sudden there's no planes around, but there's fighter jets in attack formation flying over the top of the house, rattling the windows. And when we turn on the local news, you know what we saw? Tanks rolling out of the armory on their way to LAX. And I'm like, what in the world's going on? My wife gets a call. She goes, hey, she works in the hospitality business. You need to get to work right now because they're grounding every plane, and there's so many displaced people that the hotels don't know what to do. So she runs to work, and they're trying to figure out, with all the planes getting grounded, how are you going to get people in hotel rooms? I called the network, and I said, hey, what's going on? They said, hey, we're looking for you. We don't know where the midday show is. They're in D.C., and we can't get a hold of them. Get dressed, get ready. I don't know what studio we can get you to, but be prepared to come in and do news. So that day, I don't think Jim Rome went on, and Dr. Laura, who was a big radio star at the time, refused to go on the air. And Glenn Beck, who was just starting a syndication deal down in Tampa, ends up going on for all the syndicated radio personalities that aren't going to work that day. So I get dressed. I'm standing there. I'm looking at the computer, trying to print as much as I can to get ready. I'm watching the television. The adrenaline's going through the roof. And they're like, we don't know what studios we can get you to because they're shutting down all the roads and they don't want people traveling, especially in Los Angeles, because that's where most of those planes were heading from New York to Los Angeles. And I remember standing there, and then about an hour and a half later, I get a phone call. We found the midday show because I was on vacation that week. We found Kylie and Booms. They're okay. They can get to a studio. Relax. You're okay. We don't need you. So I was all fired up, ready to go, adrenaline pumping, and then just this huge letdown. And I remember my wife worked like 12 hours that day, and I remember sitting on the couch crying all day because there's nothing I could do. Called my folks and said, you know what? There's tanks on the streets near our house. Just keep rigs up at your house. I don't think it's safe down here. And it was the first time I was ever scared like that in my life.
Scary day.
It was, yeah. And then I've been to the 9/11 museum. And when you go to the 9/11 museum and you see the fire truck flattened, and you go through and Dragon Ball, it's so wild when you see the pieces of the plane and you see, and there's little things you see that make it all come real. Like you could see the fire truck and the photos and the wreckage, but it seems surreal, right?
Right.
It doesn't. It seems like it's Hollywood, but when you go into that museum and you see pieces of paper or a driver's license, or the thing that really, really hit me hard was a seatbelt from the plane, because that made it personal. When you saw people's bags and their backpacks, and you saw their briefcases or a pair of glasses, that made it personal when I went through the museum. And then there's the Carruthers bandana, which made me cry. You know that story, right?
Yeah. Yes.
From Boston College. It's incredible. And I'm sorry for going down this rabbit hole, but I just, when I read this 9/11 Tower Challenge, it just makes me think of all this. So go to wildcatsradio1290.com to find out more information. All right, coming up, I got Rich's Mount Rushmore. Oh, no Mount Rushmore. Oh, because we had Dave Rubio on. Okay, never mind. Why don't you shut up because I messed up the whole show. Go ahead, yell at me, Dragon Ball. Go ahead.
You're fine.
No, go ahead. Tell me.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Sorry.
You're good.
Continue. It's 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show, now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube.